I am George Moore Sr. My son is Georgie Moore Jr. Just the whole, my son, right, is incarcerated, he's in jail, is a subject that I didn't want to talk about.
In the heart of North Chicago, I grew up in a household full of family, uncles and aunts, grandparents that gave me a glimmer of hope in a challenging neighborhood.
He was a good child. He was always clingy towards me. He was a mama's boy.
I would say from the North Chicago end of it is just seeing him as a young man growing up, starting to develop and trying to find his way. There were some negative influences out there.
North Chicago, you might think is sweet, but it's not. It's not sweet at all. When you hear North Chicago, a lot of people say Gurney Mills and Six Flags. No, that's just the closest reference to it that we tell people, but it's the hood, it's the trenches, it's the block from teepees, from Broadway to Hervey to Grove.
Coming home from Yeager Elementary, and I remember looking to the sky, praying a prayer that I will never forget to this day. On this same street, I said these words: God, when I get older, please don't let me turn away from you.
And suddenly things went left.
When George was in the 5th grade, I had divorced his father and we moved to California.
When you have a man in the life of a young man, it makes a difference when he's just being raised by his mother.
And like so many other young people who get enticed by their surroundings, I eventually went astray.
All of the mischief, all of the stuff that you did, and as a younger sibling, you absorb all of that like a sponge.
George's problematic issues was when he wanted to have his own way. He wanted to do his own thing.
Imagine my son being in a gang. When I found out that he was somewhat influenced in it, I was shocked.
I never would have imagined that the days ahead would be filled with so much darkness.
It was summer 1998. He ended up going to jail. I'm feeling guilty because I know that this whole thing is a lie the whole time, but at the end of the day, I'm just a kid.
Who would have known that it would get that bad for a boy that was once doing so good? Unfortunately, this has been the story of millions of young people who find themselves trapped in the land of the free. But thank God, that's not where the story ends.
Now he's in a position to help those where he didn't have the help or the resources or the organizations out there that he could tap into when he came out.
Like a pit bull that tastes blood, when you help people, when you help a community, and you continue to want to help a community, you're not going to stop doing it no matter what.
This is just the beginning of how one young man went from lockup to legacy. A story of relentless hope.